Hello, everybody. Today, welcome to the Why Cats podcast with Andrew LZ. My name is Andrew LZ. I am a Phoenix area comedian, and this podcast, we are on episode number 2 with a good friend of mine, April Walterscheid. And as you know, this is the podcast where I force my friends to watch the movie Cats, while I watch it every week for a year and just see what happens. And we're just going to go into a little in depth about the movie and get April's opinions on it because she's also somebody who loves movies. She wants to work in entertainment. She does work in entertainment. I don't know what I'm saying, but and she's a great content creator. She does quite a bit. So everybody, April Walterscheid.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Hello.
How you been?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't seen you since like January.
Yeah, I think I moved to LA in January, basically. I really moved in March, but January I came out here to take a class, and then I'm like, whoops, I moved.
Yeah. Uh, are you from Phoenix? I can't remember.
Yeah, I was born in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I'm just military, but I moved out here. Stupid comedy dreams and shit.
You're
So.
from Iraq, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I am a. I consider myself from Missouri more than anywhere else, but kind of born in Mississippi, but I moved around the states and settled in Missouri when my dad retired. So
What part of Mississippi? I've been to Tupelo and then just driven through it.
Biloxi, it's one of the southernmost parts of Mississippi, but I was only there for a couple months, and I've only been there one time since. So
Okay. Do you like want to move back or anything?
no, I mean I could see myself moving back to Missouri in the future, but I there's not a lot to do out there. So
Mhm.
I've always wanted to do stand up and work in some sort of comedy entertainment most of my life. So
Yeah.
I figured further out west was probably better.
Yeah.
But
Or New York or wherever, like
I don't
somewhere in the middle or
I don't see myself as a New York person. It's not my style.
Have you
So,
been there? I have never been there.
oh, you haven't? I've been there twice. It's really nice. I mean, it's very big. I know it's very expensive, so I just like that's one of the big things. But I don't know. I don't see myself being able to do anything out there besides just being a random open micer.
Oh, I like yeah, I want to do like Carolines or something. I just want to go out there and see what it's like.
Yeah, I would love to do Caroline's, the Cellar, stuff like that. But I'm not that good of a comedian, so it doesn't really matter. Uh,
Oh,
I like.
fun.
I'm a better writer than I'm a performer. Um, of course, most people don't really like my stuff just because I stray on the darker side, just because I think that's funnier.
I think we're all just self-conscious of what we're writing about.
Yeah. All right, but
What
let's start
okay.
talking about the
Okay.
movie a little bit. What was this the worst movie that you've watched?
Well, I knew you'd ask that. And mm, no, it's not the worst movie I've ever
Yeah,
seen. I'm
it's
sorry.
it's not the worst movie to me either. So I mean, I'm only in 3 watches of the movie so far, and I know I'm gonna hate it at one point. I didn't hate it when I saw it in the theater. I didn't like it the first time I watched it before this podcast, but whenever I was watching it earlier today, I kind of enjoyed it a little bit. So
Yeah.
uh,
The worst movie, by the way, I've seen is S. Darko.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's a fan-made movie about Donnie Darko,
Okay.
and it has the little sister from Donnie Darko, and it's terrible.
Um, the worst movie I think I've seen is a horror movie that tried way too hard. It was called Nurse 3D.
Oh,
Um,
Nurse. Okay.
yeah, I it had I think the actress's name was Paz de la Huerta, and she is such a stiff actor, and it was just really bad. I can usually finish movies because I love bad movies, I love bad movies, but this was just so bad that I couldn't even finish it. Yeah.
That's
Um, do
yeah,
you
that's
do you like bad movies, or do you just mainly like, because I'll rewatch a bad movie over and over again.
I think I like mediums, like like not I like movies
Blockbusters.
about yeah, I like movies about mediums, but no, I don't know if there's any about those mediums, but as people, but I like medium rated movies, I think.
Yeah.
I like the ones that are actually good, but the critics didn't like them.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I love it's kind of a sleeper hit. I think there's a movie that just came out on Netflix that finally came to Netflix, and it was really good a couple years ago. It was called Celeste and Jesse Forever, and that's Rashida Jones and Andy Samberg. And I really like that. I think they were a married couple, and I think got divorced. I think that's the whole premise of the movie, but it was really good. Uh, did you watch any other movie after this, like just to kind of remember just how movies can actually be good when this one's not really that great?
Well, I watched this last night,
Okay,
so
nah,
no,
nothing since.
nothing since. But I have a good photographic memory, so I remember how movies were.
Yeah. Uh, do you like musicals?
I do now. I didn't like him as a kid. Like I saw Evita as a kid in the
Okay.
theaters with my parents.
Yeah.
Madonna's in
Yeah.
that one, and that put me to sleep in the
Okay.
theater. I'm just like halfway through, I just like fell asleep. That's all I remember. I was probably like 11 or 12, but I was in musicals as a junior high schooler, and I was just trying to. I like singing, so that kind of got me into it, but I didn't like how they would sing everything they were saying. I
Yeah.
hated that. And now I love it. Like if I'm on a road trip and I have free satellite radio, because sometimes Sirius XM will like put a little 2 week freebie.
Yeah. A little trial.
They'll just do another trial. Like they just give you like satellite radio for 2 weeks, and then they take it away for months and bring it back. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm fine with that. I don't want to pay for a subscription.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listen to musicals like on road trips and stuff,
Yeah.
and it keeps me awake.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. Like I grew up on musicals. I didn't perform in any musicals in high school or junior high. I auditioned for quite a few, but I've got a better singing voice now than I did when I was a kid. Um,
Yeah.
I can sing higher notes, but I obviously with my kind of lower voice, I can definitely sing in a lower register a lot better now. But I I grew up watching musicals after musicals after musicals. Like my mom and dad were both big fans of them.
Mhm.
So like Grease was on regular rotation in our house, which in retrospect it's a like a lot of really terrible themes in that movie. But always love Grease. I mean, if it ever comes on TV, I usually always watch it. But like Evita, you mentioned Evita. I didn't like the movie very much. I've never been a big Madonna fan though.
Okay.
But I went to a theater like weekend in high school for thespians, and another school in Missouri put on Evita, and it was amazing. It was
Oh,
like
good.
a high school production was so much better than the movie, and uh,
Wow.
yeah. Well, I mean, I saw like Bye Bye Birdie that same weekend. I saw Ponce de Leon. No, not Ponce de Leon. Cyrano de Bergerac that weekend, and that was an amazing production. So I mean, you can get like I don't know. I just always musicals always kind of resonated with me. So
I feel like there's a musical title for everything you could ever say. Like after seeing all the musicals on Sirius XM,
yeah,
there's uh there's a musical for every phrase that you could ever say in like different languages. I swear, like there's musicals I've never heard of that I'm like, oh, this one's awesome.
yeah.
Um, I can't even think of an example, but what's like there's a hold on, like there's one that's like A Night at the Opera, or
Oh
Like
yeah.
not a night, but like I forgot.
Night at the Opera, I think, is a Queen album.
No, it is. No, it's kind of like that though. It's like a night at the how to become a salesman or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
With
how to succeed in business without really, without even trying,
yeah,
maybe.
there's like musicals called that. There's like every like
Yeah.
word I swear is a musical.
Yeah. I mean, it's really stupid, but like I'm a big My Chemical Romance fan, the emo band,
Mhm.
and they have kind of a rock opera album called The Black Parade. It's their biggest album. But Andrew Lloyd Webber, coincidentally of Cats, he he posted a video on Twitter the other day of just playing a single note, and everybody's like natural reaction was, oh, it kind of sounds like My Chemical Romance, but then it went into Phantom of the Opera, and then he
Oh,
and
cool.
then he just went like two keys down and pressed another note, and it was very clearly the My Chemical Romance, the Black Parade uh, starting note, and that I started looking at the comments, and like four other girls were talking about, hey, we should write a My Chemical Romance Black Parade musical, and I kind of jumped in on that, and I'm working on that with at least one other girl right now about like making a My Chemical Romance musical. So
That's so cool. Are they from? They're just online. You guys are working
yeah,
online.
yeah. So I mean, it'll probably go nowhere, but you never know.
You never
I,
know.
yeah, I just like writing. Uh, so, uh, do your parent, like you said, your parents took you to see Evita? Do your parents like musicals?
I don't think so.
No, are they
Mm.
big movie fans at all, or
They're
they just
big.
took you to go see?
They're not really fans of anything,
Oh,
but
really?
they're fans of the TV show The Crown.
Okay, I haven't
uh,
watched that. My sister just finished the fourth season. Is that the one that just came out?
is it? I feel like my parents have been watching it forever. Every time I'd come home, they'd be like watching that show. When I
Just
moved,
rewatching it.
yeah. Well, no, just probably catching up.
Oh, okay.
They run a business, so they don't have time to even like. They might watch the news or watch sports. They watch sports like in football more than anything when they
Yeah,
have time. So when they watch anything, I'm just surprised. They're just like my whole life. They just work all the time.
yeah. What got you into like performing and everything?
Jeez.
Junior
Mm.
high, high school?
No, probably like the movie Hook. Um,
Okay.
Dustin Hoffman. I
Yeah,
th- he looked really scary in that movie.
yeah. It's one of my earliest memories of movies.
Yeah, and then I saw an interview of him without the wig, and I'm like, that's the guy. He's not evil in real life.
Yeah.
So that's
Uh,
the start of it.
okay. Yeah, Hook is still holds up. Still a great movie. Not
Mhm.
really. It wasn't really critically liked though.
Mm.
Uh, but I mean, Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, and then why can't I think of his name? The guy who died.
Dennis
Played
Hopper.
Shmi.
No, it's me. Yeah, something. Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins.
There we go.
Rufio's like Dante Bosco and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Rufio's just like everybody says Rufio, so probably without context. But did you happen to like any of the songs in the movie?
Oh, I mean, I've seen Cats before.
Okay,
I have an Andrew Lloyd Webber like DVD set.
okay.
I watched. I barely remember some of the stuff. I know Jellicle Cats and I
Memories.
have Memories.
Everybody
Yeah,
loves Memories. I mean, even if you don't like the musical, everybody likes Memories. Uh,
Memories sounds like Color of the Wind in Pocahontas.
doesn't?
Kind of
Uh,
the parts of it are similar. Yeah.
okay, I'll have to kind of play them side by side or like one after the other. I for some reason I just always stick with Mr. Mistopheles, that song near the end. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just very triumphant, very upbeat. I always like that one.
Maybe people just want people who support them. That's the theme of that song. I feel like just people acknowledging you and like what you're doing and to help. That's kind of what that song
Yeah, I mean
I
it's
got.
I always see it as like belief. I mean, Like,
Hmm.
believe in yourself, and you should be able to succeed. So
I like the name Mr. Mistopheles.
so do I.
I really thought the guy playing him at first was because there's supposed to be like what 20 famous people in here. So I'm like, is that Robert Pattinson? I
Oh,
thought he looked like Robert Pattinson.
I can kind of see that. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, he's probably my favorite performer in the movie. Besides, I
Yeah.
really like the main girl. She didn't talk a lot. She didn't even sing a lot, but beautiful dancer. Uh,
Yeah.
I've always just been a huge fan of dance, like because this movie kind of does everything. It's got tap, it's got contemporary, it's got ballet, it's got jazz, it's got hip hop, it's got straight up Broadway dance. But I mean, she's a ballet dancer and she's amazing.
Her cat suit is I looked her up. She does not look like her cat. Like
No,
a lot of them kind of look like the cat they created.
yeah,
Maybe Mistopheles doesn't. But yeah, I looked her up and I'm like, oh, she doesn't even look like the cat that they made her into at all.
no, they kind of made her look a little bit more white.
Or like she could be blonde or something if she was seen in real life
Yeah,
or yeah.
yeah. I
And she's
think like
probably Italian. I don't know if she is.
I don't
She's
know.
like Colombian Italian. I don't know.
I don't know. Beautiful dancer though. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed her, and she had really beautiful facial expressions too. So like
Mhm.
she reacted really well to
Like
everything around her.
I really want that. I want to be able to do that, but I'm just always like, eh.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, you're a stand up, so I mean, you usually think more on the comedy side, probably.
stuck in our heads. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, always trying to like punch up something. Always trying to make something a little bit more memorable, just at least just for a second.
Yeah. And be like, I'm smart. Look at me. I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that.
I I that's why I can't do improv. I can't think on my feet like that.
Oh.
I can't do it.
Or let go of control a little bit and just kind of go with what your mind set
Yeah, like my brain just doesn't work that way. I've always been more of a writer than more than anything.
the performance part. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Any was there any performances in this movie that made that stood out as good or bad for you?
Oh, I actually did like Taylor Swift uh basically giving out free catnip and dousing everybody in catnip. That was fun.
Yeah.
I really liked her coming down on a moon.
Yeah.
But as far as a performance, I mean, I did like the railway cat. I liked him tap dancing
Yeah.
on the rail. And here's all the notes I took. I mean, they're not even like, oh, you can't if you can see it. Shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of notes. Um, I thought the background did a really good performance. Not the background actors, but just, how the sky was like a cotton candy. Some of the skies during some of the scenes were like cotton candy purple and blue. I thought that was pretty. I liked just the set design. I don't know if it was real or some of it was green screen, but
So
the stairs would light up
it was
and
about half and half. I mean, obviously, all the background, like all the everything besides like the uh, the buildings in front, those were all practical. Like the milk bar was 100% practical. Uh, the uh, the stage set was I think the Egyptian was 100% practical. Obviously, like they put the green screens in the windows and everything, but yeah, everything except for like the foreground was everything in the background was CG except for like the foreground like buildings. So, but the problem with the movie is like it doesn't keep its scale. Sometimes they look like they could be like a 6 foot tall like a 3 foot tall cat, and then sometimes they look like they could be small. So
oh yeah, especially because they look like the size of mice actually. So when I saw mice, I'm like, those mice are tinier than actual mice.
yeah,
And then the part of the scene I didn't like was them dancing with the cockroaches and then randomly eating them.
yeah,
And at that point, the scale they seemed bigger than they were. Like maybe the roaches were the size of cats and they were the size of people.
yeah. Especially like on the table, uh, that that entire that perspective there in that scene is just so completely off. And then you're completely thrown off because Rebel Wilson tears off her skin to reveal like
I
the
know.
same skin. It was, but she does it twice in the movie. I
Yeah.
completely forgot that she had done it a second time
Yeah.
after being captured.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah, I liked Rebel Wilson and James Corden if he's in there. I think he is.
yeah,
I liked them. Okay, so like they came in as comic relief. I feel like those two were like
yeah.
comic relief, and then we have like the people, the two that are plotting with McCavity. We have forgot their names. Sorry,
Uh, yeah, they are. Uh,
like Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
yeah, it's like Rumple.
Oh, it's I wrote it down. Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser.
Yes.
They came in and they're like, "We're comedians." I'm like, "We already have two of them. We don't need you to."
Yeah. Um, I do like the way he says his own name in that song though. Like when he like kind of cuts it in half, he's like Rumple Teaser. I don't know. I just
Like as if there's a hyphen.
yeah.
Maybe there is.
Uh, I don't think there is though, but there's one guy who's like the companion piece throughout the entire movie. He's Victoria's or is yeah, she keeps the name Victoria. That he's always just beside her. But we never
Her
hear his
dad or something.
name.
Her dad.
Yeah, his name is Monkey Strap. But we
Monk.
never yeah, we never hear his name.
Oh, that's why.
But he's like
That's
he's the
awful.
yeah, he starts the whole Jellicle Cat song. But he's throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, he's
But
like watching over her or something.
yeah. And like I thought he put on a great performance too. The movie is full of just good performances. It's just as a whole, it's just not a good movie.
Yeah, I like the set, and I really thought them looking like cats was gonna throw me off because in the ad it really threw me off that they look like cats, and I'm like, this movie looks stupid. But like during the movie, it didn't really bother me that their faces were morphed with CGI into cats.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, did you ever look up what it looked like? Like, what did they have on their face during the performance?
They had like the dots. They I can't think of the word. They had the dots on there. Some people had full like green screen and blue screen suits, but then oftentimes like they would have the jackets over top. They would sometimes have they would just be in regular clothes. I mean, it was a lot of really weird performance capture. So
And you
like it
gotta
was a
act
combination.
with oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I figure they gotta act with like green screen around them. They gotta pretend things are there that aren't there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a puzzling movie. I mean, it's I think I mentioned this last week. It's the first movie I believe that the director of the movie both has an Oscar for best directing for The King's Speech,
Mm-hmm.
and then a Razzie for worst director for this
Oh,
movie. But he also did Into the Woods, which is really good though. So
yeah. I did definitely makeup for Into the Woods in college. But I think I've never seen it. But I think I would like it because it's like fairy tales, right? Like Little Red
yeah,
Riding Hood stuff.
yeah. It's common. It's kind of like what that TV show on ABC did a couple years ago,
Oh yeah,
or whatever that show was called.
probably
Uh,
Into the Woods or something.
yeah. Um, sorry, I can't think. Did you?
Okay.
I can't read my own notes. Um, so you said you've had this Andrew Lloyd Webber DVD. Did you watch the DVD recording of the movie before of the stage play?
I think that's what's on there. Yeah, the stage.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see the Kate's cats stage play.
Yeah. See, I have it. I just haven't watched it yet. So
Oh,
I'm just waiting. I don't know. I just haven't brought myself to watch it yet.
it's
But
gonna Hamilton on Disney Plus probably.
yeah, I still actually haven't watched Hamilton yet.
Oh, I didn't either. I just saw it like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. I've listened to a couple of the songs. I drive around quite a bit, so I listened to a couple of the songs. It's good. I just haven't taken the time to listen to it all or watch it all. So I'm excited to watch it. I just haven't taken the time to.
Yeah, everyone gets mad at me when I tell them I didn't see it.
Yeah. Fuck them. Um, what's it called? Why can't I think? Read? What was the most disturbing part of the movie for you?
Oh, let me see if I wrote anything down. The cockroach part,
The cockroach, yeah,
and wow. Um, let's see. I mean, I think just okay. The most disturbing part because I've never looked up Cats the actual like plot.
mm-hmm.
I don't pay attention to the plot too much. I just know some of the songs, and I know they're all trying to get the Jellicle Cat status,
Yeah. Well,
which
the
99 lives.
yeah the competition that they're all going for with old Deuteronomy is to go to the Heaviside Lair, which is basically resurrection. It's they're trying to basically die to basically come back as a new life.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
it's the entire story, which I feel like it's a common interpretation of Cats, is that they're all just trying to that the Heaviside Lair is death.
that's what I thought. That's why I was very disturbed. I'm like, they want to die. Like, I didn't understand that. Like, they wanted to die, and that was winning. Even though a lot of comedians probably think, like, a lot of us who are depressed or whatever, think that that might be winning, right? Like, if you're
Yeah, I mean,
maybe you come back.
yeah,
um,
I've been depressed a long time, and I've never really thought like I ever I don't know. Everybody's depression is a little different. So
yeah. But I mean, some people, as you get older, you don't want to be around. Like I hear, like I had a grandma who was like 80 or 100, and she's like, "Why am I still here?"
yeah. Oh, I don't
So,
want to live that long.
yeah, a lot of people say, "I don't want to live that long," because maybe you don't want to see yourself get wrinkles, or like you can't use your limbs anymore. I don't know, like your arthritis or.
Yeah, for me, it's just like I don't think quality of life after like at least for me, quality of life after like 60 is going to be awful.
I'm thinking that too, because like when I was younger, I was like, "Oh, one of my relatives lived to be over 100, 111, or 102. And I'm like, that's so cool. But as
Yeah,
I'm getting older, I'm like, oh, I kind of get why they don't want to be around like that old.
yeah. I mean, obviously, like I probably won't have any kind of control over that, but I mean, I just don't think
Hmm.
like maybe when I'm 60, I'll go to the Heaviside Lair. I don't know. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that was just really kind of disturbing to me. But also I get it, but I think with this cat seems like it seems like an alley. It seems like a dirty alley, but also like a magical place. So
Yeah,
I'm like, you guys want to leave?
yeah. I mean,
It's magical.
there's clearly magic in this universe because both Mistopheles does magic. Uh, Idris Elba, his why can't I think of his name? I literally just
Oh,
watched
he's
the
the
movie.
McCavity. That guy,
McCavity.
yeah, that's who's McCavity.
He does magic, and my favorite, like the most disturbing part of the movie, because Idris Elba is one of the most attractive people in the world, and they make him terrifying to look at whenever he takes off his jacket. Whenever he doesn't have the hat on and doesn't have the jacket, he's a nightmare to look at.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Like his outfit is his suit and stuff. His
Yeah,
hat. Oh, I didn't. Hold on.
yeah. And I just don't understand why people sometimes have jackets, some people sometimes have shoes on. Like some of the hip hop dancers during the Jason Derulo part. Derulo is great, but he doesn't. He's only given like two opportunities throughout the entire movie. Obviously, he's a great dancer, and then he brings his own dancers with it. But some of his dancers randomly have Converses on.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It was
Well,
weird.
with the coats, it's like, are you wearing dog? Are you
Yeah,
wearing a hat? What are you wearing?
yeah. It's and then with what's her name, Rebel Wilson with Jenny Anydots, which all the names in this movie are in this play are ridiculous. But she takes off her own skin to reveal just more skin, just with a like kind of a
Japanese.
jazz,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, so weird. And then what's his name? Uh, James Corden, great performance. I actually really enjoy his performance in the movie too. Just because, especially like whenever he's tied up with Jenny Anydots and Ray Winstone tries to uh, like intimidate them, and he's like, that doesn't rhyme because it's not Thames, it's the River Thames. I just thought his little comeback was great.
Yeah. So is it the River Thames or Thames? It's Thames, right?
It's Thames.
Oh, I mean, I thought the British people said Thames. No?
I don't know. Here, give me 1 second. Let me
Okay.
mute
Like
myself.
your pronunciation,
Yeah.
YouTube pronunciation.
My sister knows.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna mute myself real quick.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look it up.
It is the River Thames.
Thames.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's gonna be great podcast material. Let's see if I can edit that
Oh
bit
wow.
of silence out. But yeah, were there any lines in the movie that kind of stuck out to you?
Oh, I definitely wrote some down. Let me see. My writing's a mess here. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. So there's a line that stood out. I really thought Captain Picard was Ian McKellen's character at first. By the way,
That was Ian McKellen, yeah.
I thought it was like I
Oh,
thought it
you
was
thought it was Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So here's I think a line from this is a line that Ian McKellen says or
Okay.
McClellan or whatever. Jellicle cats are black and white. So a Jellicle cat can only be black and white. So I'm like, there's a lot of red cats, orange cats in the movie. I'm just like, are they? So I was like, are they out of the running
Yeah.
for this? And I was like, is that catist or racist or?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's just poor writing by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I
Or
even
her.
I think I read Jellicle cats was just something he would say around the house, and he just like those like silly things you say and and then he just turned it into a song. That's what I
Yeah.
read.
I know Jellicle comes from like a like either a short story or a poem
Oh.
that has zero to do with anything Andrew Lloyd Webber. He just took it from that where they said Jellicle cat, and he just kind of ran with it.
Oh.
I tried to when I was listening to the opening number, Jellicle Cats, I tried to keep a tally of how many times they said Jellicle, and every once in a while they would like kind of go like 30 seconds without saying it, and then at one point my pen stopped working, so I wasn't able to tell anymore. But I got to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, about 55 times with about a minute left. They said Jellicle.
That's the whole movie?
No, that's just in the opening song.
Oh my god. So
Yeah.
I even 50 more times throughout the movie. They seem obsessed with it. They're like, it's like Trump. It's just they're saying it all the time. It's like all the time. They're just obsessed with it.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. I'm eventually gonna be able to get the tally right. Just keep a nice new pen ready. But yeah, I'm gonna tally how much they end up saying it. But some of the lines that I fucking love throughout this movie, like it makes zero sense. Whenever Idris Elba would teleport away, he would meow randomly. Yeah, it was great. It was just so random, and I imagined he was like, "Man, this is not a good choice. I shouldn't have signed on for this. I'm just gonna do something stupid whenever I."
Serious actor.
Yeah. I feel like that was a choice, or
Like
I
not
mean,
a direction. Do you think that's a direction or he made that choice?
I think that's a choice. It could have been a direction. I mean, it very easily could have been, but for some reason, to me, that just feels like a choice. I don't know. But my favorite line, I don't think it's gonna stop being my favorite line throughout this entire year, is Judi Dench. At one point, like with like half an hour left in the movie, she says, "Oh, pussy," and it was like you got Dame Judi Dench, knighted by the Queen, to say, "Oh, pussy." I mean, obviously she says something after that, but it just, for me, that was just the funniest thing.
Oh, that is funny because I just remember her from James Bond, and I didn't know her name was spelled with an I. I just found that out.
Was it?
Yeah. She also says again, this is probably just a quote in the musical in general, whether she says it or not, but it's not like the one you found, but she says at the end that cats hate familiarity. And then I
Yeah,
was thinking, like, well, then why is my cat always sleeping in the same exact spot all the time?
yeah. I don't know, like that her breaking the fourth wall at the end twice, because she starts talking and then they kind of break out into like a harmony, and then she goes back to breaking the fourth wall and talking to the camera again. I don't know, it was just very off.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. You don't want Judy Dench staring at you from a movie screen.
Yeah. Somebody else looked directly like into the camera throughout, like I think it was James Corden at one point just
Oh
looked.
yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, where oh yeah, it was right before, like whenever he was on the little catapult. That's ridiculous. But when he was on the catapult, right before like he kind of went back into character where he licked his paw and like and touched his ear, he looked directly in the camera like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah, because yeah.
But it was just one shot, so he was dedicated, regretted it, and then back to being dedicated to it.
I wonder if that was a choice or a direction.
I don't know. That one kind of feels like a direction, but it definitely, you could see the hatred in his eyes.
That he doesn't want to be in the movie, or
Yeah, I think it was. I think a lot of these people had immediate regret.
he was probably told BTS, the K-pop band, was going to be in it too, and he's like, yes, but
No,
they're
it was
not.
probably Taylor Swift, because I know Taylor Swift was probably the most excited to be in this movie.
Oh, okay.
She
Yeah.
loves cats, so.
Oh, she does.
Oh,
Oh,
she has. I think I know she famously has like two cats of her own, but she's obsessed with cats. And then I know during the documentary, like during the behind the scenes of this movie, these people had to go for like 2 weeks to like cat school with a movement coach and a choreographer to like move like cats, like with their hips and their shoulders like kind of flowy and everything. So,
oh, okay.
but she was
So,
like, "Oh, go ahead."
oh, I was thinking, is she obsessed with Cats the musical or just cats in general?
Cats in general.
Okay.
So like I know they rushed this movie out, but they did write an original song for it to be in conversations. So whenever they put this movie, and that's what Taylor Swift's song is, I believe. I believe
Oh,
her
that's not
song is the no, I
original.
believe that's an original song for best original song, which
Oh, oh.
which they didn't get any nominations. Um,
What did
but
they win for the Razzie? Was it worst
worst
direction or
movie, worst direction.
okay?
I think
Worst original song.
yeah, I think they swept the Razzies. But I mean, who cares about the Razzies? The Razzies are just like I don't know, they're
I like
ridiculous.
raspberries. I like raspberries. I don't
Yeah.
mind.
um, but they did you hear all the controversy about this movie?
No, I
Okay.
just knew it was looked weird.
Okay. So they rushed the movie. The VFX artists were working like 60 to 70 hours a week trying to get this movie done. And they had it have it out by like December like 13th or something for it to be an Oscar nomination.
Oh my
And so a lot of the production, all the VFX wasn't done. So if you look at like Judy Dench's hand at the end of the movie, it's not rendered, and she has her wedding ring on. She has like like shoes and background people aren't completely catted out.
Oh,
And
what
then
a,
like
you've really seen this movie like 3 times or 4 times.
yeah, but I've also done a lot of research on this movie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I was excited to see this movie because having never seen the musical or the DVD of it, but it was the trailer for the movie with Jennifer Hudson singing Memories that made me like, I watched this trailer like a bunch. I'm a big trailer watcher, so but watching Jennifer Hudson sing Memories and then watching all the dancing, I was all in. I was going to see it regardless. I took an edible to go see it,
Yeah.
and it didn't kick in at all.
Okay.
So it wasn't until after the movie when I started to actually feel it. So the movie just kind of like for 2 hours just like prevented the edible from working.
But yeah, for 2 hours, that movie prevented your high somehow.
It
Yeah,
did.
it's like you could drink a 12 pack and it won't kick in until after the movie's done.
Yeah. Uh, this movie's ridiculous. Did you like any bit of the movie? You said you like the background. You like. Did you like anybody's performance? I like Jennifer
Yeah,
Hudson. I
yeah.
yeah. Like I said, I liked Victoria. I liked her main like companion guy, and then Mr. Mistopheles. Those are my three favorite people. So
I really like probably Rebel Wilson, I think,
yeah,
and James Corden, and then the lead, like her looks, like the looks of just utter confusion as to what this world was. The whole movie,
yeah.
they're just like
Um,
the wonder in her eyes. I was jealous of the wonder in her eyes.
yeah.
And
I don't think she's cold and dead inside like I am. So I don't think
yeah,
so.
she looked like somebody who's actually not in movies. Like she does, she's a ballet dancer who does plays or theatrical things. She looked like this was a new world for her.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think she actually does act in really anything. She just
yeah.
yeah, she only has 4 acting credits.
Yeah, she looked like she was just like fascinated, like with like I bet even like when they weren't filming, she's just fascinated like being on set.
Yeah. All right.
I did. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. No, please.
Oh, do you remember the musical Rent? When like Angel, I don't want to give it away, but when like Angel dies, I think.
Yeah.
Um, this might be going out on a limb, but I just thought that Grisabella getting the Jellicle status is some sort of weird redemption for Rent. I made that a note, and I don't even know.
Hmm.
I don't know either musical that well, but I was like, I feel like this is like because she might come back.
Okay.
But I forgot how Rent ends, so I don't know if that really fits.
Yeah, neither do I. I haven't watched Rent since like 2006.
I just know it made one of my ex-boyfriends cry.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my God, I love seeing a guy kind of get like
Emotional.
affected. Yeah. Like not like I don't if he's bawling, I'm like, okay, honey, we're breaking up. You know, like if he's bawling, I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool to see him like go teary-eyed.
Yeah. I'm not much of a crier. I literally the only thing that really ever makes me cry are like dog videos.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'm more like in whale stuff. Like if whales have been like if they beach themselves or something like that, that just makes me sad.
What? So beached whales, and then which is basically like suicide.
Yeah, and then just dog videos, like heartwarming dog videos.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it.
Do you like dogs that are friends with geese or like friends with tigers or like they have weird friendships?
Yeah, but I mean, like with the ones like that are friends with like tigers or anything like that, those kind of sketch me out just because they're wild animals. What you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, they just like suddenly forget that they were also like because tigers will take care of like other animals like pigs or
Yeah,
like their mom, and then one day they might just turn against them.
yeah, just always terrifies me. I do like watching those like odd animal pairings for like 15 seconds at a time because I don't want to see anything else. I just want to see the happy times with those. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, anything you want to add about the movie or anything?
I did make a note that I liked. I put Bustafer, which I think is James Corden. I forget.
Yeah, Buster Jones.
When he first comes out, he just looks like the Penguin from Batman.
Yeah. I think my friend made the same comment last week.
Okay. Oh, I gotta say, you asked me to keep track of how
Yeah,
many
I was
times
actually just about to ask.
Oh, okay, great.
How many times did you check the time code during the movie?
Well, I knew you were asking that because you told me before I watched it you're gonna ask me that, so I was trying to resist. But I gotta say, at a minute 45, I checked the volume of my computer and the movie player. At 2:25, I clicked pause because my pen was dying. At 4:53, I paused to put milk in my tea. At 10:30, I turned on subtitles so I don't miss anything. And then I gotta say, just resisted a lot of notes about trying to resist checking. And then at 8:52 p.m., um, I am contemplating going to sleep. And then at one, and then I go to sleep. Oh, no, that's 8:52 p.m. That's a different time in the movie. But I would say like a few minutes later at an hour, 4 minutes and 40 seconds, I pause movie to take a quick cat nap, an intermission I'm giving myself.
Yeah.
Um, at 12:42 p.m. I woke up. So I woke up like about 2 hours later to
Yeah.
finish the movie, but not before looking at my phone for an hour or so until 2:14 p.m. Then I finished the movie. And yeah, so I just fell asleep. It's kind of like
Yeah.
it was almost like an Evita situation where I just
Yeah.
fell asleep in the middle.
So you didn't check the time code very much.
No, but I made a lot of notes where he said like, oh, I did check the time at 1 hour 28 minutes 21 seconds.
Okay,
Around
so
that time.
that's
Yeah.
near the end. That's probably right around Grisabella getting probably either singing memory or getting close to being selected and stuff.
Yeah, and did Jennifer Hudson die? What is the heavy side layer? Is that heaven? Like that's what
Yeah, I think it's heaven. So, all right.
How many times do you check?
The first last week, whenever I watched, I definitely checked the time code. Probably about 8 times in the first 40 minutes.
Okay.
Just because the first hour is rough. Because you're just getting used to the movie, and then the last 40 minutes are a lot easier.
That's where I fell asleep.
Yeah, the last 40 minutes for me are a lot easier. I feel like the movie definitely is better at that time. But yeah, I mean, I checked it a lot less today just because I kind of have a feeling in the beat for the movie. So no.
By the end of the year, I just have one more question for you. By the end of the year, how are you gonna feel about watching this movie? Like what, 52 times?
40 times because I'm taking 1 week off a month.
Okay.
Oh no, I already have an idea of what the of where the roller coaster of emotions is because like right now I'm kind of I'm kind of okay with it. I'm enjoying the movie right now. I imagine my 10th viewing, I'm really gonna hate it, and I'm gonna hate it probably for about like 5 or 6 times. Just because it's gonna be like an hour or 42 hours out of my day that I'm just gonna be kind of regretting all of this. But then I think I'll kind of just go in waves. I think it's just going to be like it, hate it, loathe it, and then kind of like it again just because of how ridiculous it is. So I don't know. I set myself up for failure, and I'm okay with it just
You
because.
might just like ditch your own podcast. You're like, hey, you watch it. You host my own podcast. I'm taking.
No. I think no, because there's another podcast that tried to do this, and they only made it 7 episodes.
Oh
But the
shit.
thing is, they weren't watching it once a week. They only watched it once and then just had their friend watch it. I just found out about it like whenever I was putting it onto Apple and Google Play and all that. I just typed in the name of the podcast and then like their podcast was called "What Is Cats," and but I looked at it. They only made it like 7 episodes and it ended like back in May. So.
And that's because they didn't watch it every week or every time.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think that like for me is just like whenever I saw this movie that last December, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to just talk to people about this movie because I like bad movies and this is a bad movie. So and I don't know. It just felt like something fun to do.
Yeah,
And
it's
what
really
what else are we doing right now? So
yeah. I
yeah.
do like this idea
Yeah.
or the theme.
Yeah, I mean, I have another podcast with my sister called Ask Ashley About Movies. It's kind of like named after the whole Ask Ashley thing from All of That with Amanda Bynes. But my sister, she's not a comedian. She's not like she's kind of very subdued. So it's like I'm always constantly trying to get reactions out of her, but she kind of catches herself. So
Mm.
it was all just a movie news podcast, and we'd talk about like certain actors and their career and stuff. But I don't know. I'm mainly focused on this one right now. So
I'm really happy you asked me to do it.
yeah, I'm happy you wanted to. So, uh, but all right, do you have any plugs that you want to talk about, like past, present, or just like shout out your Instagram or anything?
Oh yeah, I got some hair plugs. Do you like them? Okay. I'm just messing with my own hair. I'm just kidding. You probably believe that I did. Okay.
No, I didn't. I was like, it just looks like
Hair.
yeah.
Just
I'm
make
also really bad with like anything like wigs or
Oh yeah,
extensions or
like
anything like that. My sister, like whenever she's watching a movie, she's like, "Oh my god, that wig is awful." I'm like, I can't tell. Like whenever we watch Friends or anything, and she's like, "Oh, Phoebe's got a terrible wig on." I'm like, I can't tell.
what? So
Yeah, I can't tell. So
oh, I gotta watch that again. So I am visiting Phoenix for Thanksgiving. That's my only plug is that I'm
okay.
visiting my hometown.
I mean, like your
And
Instagram or Twitter or anything.
oh, that's what you mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Uh, April O'Neil is my Instagram, like the Ninja Turtles
yeah,
and the porn star, but not her, but
not her.
different person.
Very
It's
important to say.
me. And I think my Facebook is just April Walterscheid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, uh, this has been a lot of fun, and we'll have to keep in touch.
Sweet. I'm so happy you asked me to do it, and I'm glad I got a really good nap during the movie.
Yeah. All right. My name's been Andrew LZ. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at 5th of 55. I probably need to change it to like my actual comedy name and everything, but I've just had that thing forever. So, but yeah, thanks for listening to White Cats. We'll see you guys next week. I don't know who my guest is next week. It's probably going to be Avery. I can't think of his last name right now. Is one of my best friends. I can't think of his name.
Archer?
Yeah,
Archer?
Avery Archer. I wanted to say Archer, but for some reason it just felt wrong. Yeah, probably either Avery Archer or David Pena. Maybe Dana Wisson's coming up, and Joshua Harrison's coming up. So we'll like I can't backlog these because I have to watch it once a week. So we'll see you guys next week, and thanks for listening to White Cats, and hope you like and subscribe and rate and review me on iTunes. It really helps out a lot. So all right, my name has been Andrew LZ. This has been April Walterscheid, and we'll see you guys next week.